Hello everyone, this is Isra Yusuf and this is a second exam revision for grade 8 at Finnish Systems Schools. Your exam is going to be on Wednesday, 15th of April 20. So please prepare yourself and study well. Now, your second exam material, you're going to have, in the part of comprehension, you're going to have paragraphs from the text which you have, which is near Earth objects. In the grammar, you're going to have questions about adjectives, how to compare between adjectives, and it is actually in your grammar booklets. And also, you're going to have questions about adverbs. It is also in your booklets, and you're going to have a question of passive and active, which is in Unit 6. So please study well. And don't forget that vocabulary, you're going to have questions about the worksheet. You have a worksheet which is about the words, the new vocabulary of New Earth object. So, do you remember that you have a box, the first box, and I told you have to memorize it. You have to memorize the first box, English, and the other words you should know it. You should know their meanings. So, and don't forget your notebooks. What we have written on your notebooks. Now, you're going to have the first question, which is you're going to have a text like this, and you're going to have questions about it. So, I'm going to read it. To identify and track threats, NASA uses powerful telescopes that can peer deep into space. If an object appears to be a threat, NASA will observe the object and collect data to determine its orbit. NASA determines an object's orbit by identifying its location in space at the moment of discovery, observing where it is located after a period of time has passed, using data related to the change in location to make a prediction about whether the object will be after additional time has passed, checking to verify whether the prediction was correct. Once a potentially dangerous object is identified, NASA continues to observe it and refine its predictions based on each new set of verified data about the object's orbit. NASA checks some asteroids and comets on a daily basis. Others are checked on a weekly basis. When refining its prediction, NASA considers the effect of the gravitational force of the UN, the planets, including Earth and our Moon, on the object. NASA also considers likelihood that another object may collide with the object being tracked, which would affect its orbit. So you're going to have a text just like this, okay, and you're going to have questions. The first question, which is, what does NASA use to track threats? It uses powerful telescopes, okay? It is written in the first paragraph. What are the effects that NASA considers when refining its prediction? It is actually in the last paragraph, which you have the effects of the gravitational forces of the UN, the planets, including Earth and the Moon, and our Moon on the object. What is the word that means find out if something is true, which is verify, okay? The underlined word, it refers to the object's orbit. What does the word peer mean? It means look closely. What does the word sphere mean, which means like ball-like form, in a shape of a ball? So this is actually from your worksheet. So you should know these words' meanings because you're going to have questions about it. Now let's move to the vocabulary part, which is you're going to have sentences. Each sentence have a missing word, and you have to choose to circle the suitable word which completes each sentence. The first one, where there is an, there are local experts. So the answer is ecosystem. Where there is an ecosystem, there are local experts. He's reading a book of a Greek, I can't say. He's reading a book of a Greek schedule. It is totally wrong. I can't say a book of a Greek monitored. It's also incorrect. A book of a Greek lottery? No. So he's reading a book of a Greek math. The temperature is carefully accurate? No. Is carefully sphere? No. Is carefully monitored? Yes, the answer is C. So, he bought 5 exact tickets? No. He bought 5 lottery tickets, which is the answer A. She gave me an accurate description of the event. I can't say she gave me an accurate complex of the event. No. So she gave me an accurate description. The answer is A. What is the correct spelling? You're going to have a question similar to this question, which is, what is the correct spelling of the word? So you should be familiar with the spelling of the words. You should memorize the spelling of the words in the first box in your worksheet, your vocabulary worksheet. So the spelling of this word, which means disaster, catastrophe, it is not with the K, it is with the C, and it has E at the end, and it is the first one. So the answer is A. Now let's move to part 3, which is grammar. Here you have adjectives, and you're going to compare between them. So you're going to circle the correct form of the adjectives in the parentheses. So Sue is, then Sammy. Sue is. Here I'm comparing between Sue and Sammy. So I'm comparing between 2 people. So I'm going to use the comparative. I have the adjective, which is tall. Tall is actually 1 syllable. So I'm going to add ER because I'm comparing between 2. Because I'm using comparative. So the answer is taller. English is, then German. Here also I'm comparing between 2. So I'm going to use the comparative, and I have the adjective, which is easy. Easy is 2 syllables, and it ends with a Y. You should be careful. It ends with a consonant followed by a Y, so I'm going to replace the Y into an I, and I would add ER. You are the person I know. You have the adjective, which is lazy. Here I'm comparing between more than 3 things. I'm comparing between you and every person I know. So, lazy here, it ends with a consonant followed by a Y. And I'm comparing between more than 3 things, so I'm going to use superlative. And I'm going to replace the Y with an I, and then I would add ESTY. Because it is superlative. I'm comparing between more than 3 things. So you are the laziest person I know. The answer is C. Snowboarding is then skiing. Here I'm comparing between 2, which is snowboarding and skiing. And I have the adjective, which is exciting. Exciting is actually 3 syllables. So I'm going to use comparative. I have an adjective with 3 syllables. So I'm going to add the word, which is more. More exciting, because exciting is actually more than 2 syllables. It actually from 3 syllables. So exciting, more exciting than skiing. Now here you have to read each question carefully and to choose the correct answer. Now it is about passive and active. You should remember that active, when the subject of a sentence performs the verb's action, we see that the sentence in the active voice. So you have the subject, and the subject is actually the doer of the action, okay, which performs the verb's action. But passive, when the subject is acted on by the verb. So the subject is acted on by the verb, and you would have the doer of the action in the place of the object. It is all written on your books. We underline it, we highlight it. So memorize it and please study it well. Which sentence is written in the passive? I have the first sentence, which is Mary makes her bed every morning. Who makes her bed every morning? Mary. So I have here the subject in the place, the doer of the action in the place of the subject. So it is in the active. So A is out. I washed my car last week. Who washed your car? I did. So here I, the doer of the action in the place of the subject. So it is an active sentence. My mum is going to bake a delicious cake. My mum, who's going to bake a delicious cake? My mum. So my mum here, the doer of the action, is in the place of the subject, so it is an active sentence. The dinner is being made by him. Who made the dinner? Him. Here I have him, the doer of the action, in the place of the object. So it is the passive sentence, which is D. Here, which sentence is written in the active? Charlie is writing a letter. Who's writing the letter? Charlie. So Charlie here, the doer of the action, in the place of the subject. So it is an active sentence. Let's look at the second sentence. My story will be read by my teacher. Who will read your story? My teacher. Here, the doer of the action is in the place of the object. So it is the passive. It is a passive sentence. The car is being cleaned by Sally. Who's cleaning the car? Sally. So here, the doer of the action in the place of the object. The last sentence, which is the girl was bitten by the dog. Who bite the girl? The dog. So the dog here, the doer of the action is in the place of the object. So the answer is A. The doer of the action in the sentence, which is research, will be presented by Einstein at the conference, is. Who's the doer of the action here? Is it research? The research is going to be presented by whom? By Einstein. So Einstein is the doer of the action here, and he is in the place of the object. And this sentence is in the passive. Now, before we move to the last question, you should remember that an adverb, it describes a verb, okay? And it describes a verb by telling you how, when, or where. And the adverb can describe an adjective, can describe another adverb. And many adverbs end in ly. Some adverbs tell you how, you have some examples. Some adverbs tell you when, you have some examples too. And some adverbs tell you where, you have some examples. And it is written on your adverb booklet. So check them and study them. Now, choose the correct answer. What is the adverb in this sentence, which is Aunt Sonia always wanted to be a reporter? The adverb here is always. Always is the adverb. What is the adverb in this sentence, which is the news director plans the assignments carefully? Carefully is the adverb. Why? Because it describes how the news director plans the assignment. So carefully is the answer. What does the adverb recently in Aunt Sonia visited Paris recently tells you? What does the adverb recently tells you? It tells me when. When did Aunt Sonia visit Paris? She visited Paris recently. So the answer is recently. What does the adverb quickly in? Thanks to the news broadcast, we quickly learn what is happening tells you. The adverb quickly here, what does it tell you? It tells me how. It tells me how. Okay? So, the revision lesson has ended. I hope it was useful. Please study well and stay safe. This is your teacher, Isra Yusuf. Bye-bye.